Habt ihr nichts drauf?
Die Glorie!
Gebt auf, solange ihr noch könnt.
Ich kann euch nicht besiegen.
You never should have come here. You hurt?
They're only blockading the east side because of the ridge. If they want to starve us out, they need to stop supplies to Bruma from Skyrim. Those troops must have been patrolling the route to Applewatch. The outlet is just ahead. Go on, up ahead. Up here, Dragonborn. You go first, then. Pull me up. We made it. Let's go and see just what the hell is going on.
Rigmor!
Mom!
Oh, the gods have looked down on us today. Oh, my baby girl. What have they done to you? Dragonborn, how can I ever thank you?
Come on, Mom. Let's sit down. Everything's going to be all right.
Guardian, I take it you were not seen entering the city?
We got in through the sewers. I don't think they saw us.
2 days ago, Robert de Medallius arrived under a white flag of parley.
Bastard.
He demanded we surrender the city. When we refused, he cut off our lifeline to Skyrim and has sat there since, and has begun constructing trebuchets to assault the city and a log ram to force open the gates. We assumed you had survived and rescued Rigmor, and they were now enacting exactly what I had expected. Initially, we expected the worst. Keris?
Robert said that you had perished in the fire, but luckily Rigmor had already sailed for exile. That he was going to speak to the Emperor and implore that he be allowed to marry her, that his love was still true.
Yeah, right.
Morag Sethius called for calm, and she would get down to the bottom of the reasons for the fire. And it was a sad day that so many lost their lives. She hasn't been seen for 2 days.
We fear she may have left for Table Mountain. Sethri informed us of everything, so now we know the truth. Have you spoken to him? He was coming to find you.
Excuse me.
What a wretched world it has become. But apart from what Sethri told us, we have been cut off from the world, awaiting the worst.
Ingol is going to mount an attack soon. We can sally forth and destroy the trebuchets. I would advise taking control of the road into Cyrodiil. We can defend it from the heights. The mountains behind our backs are impassable and offer us natural protection. Once we gain control of the road, any attempt to take the high ground would funnel their troops into a withering fire from our archers. It would also give us time to reinforce the city, and temporarily open a trade route with our Nord friends in Skyrim. We can fill our stores for a long siege if we have to. Then we... Dragonborn? I'm sorry. I didn't know my place.
And it is so. Your place at the helm of your citizens.
Please, continue, my child. We are all so very proud of you.
Then... we hold them off as long as we can until Leowyn brings his main force to bear. This time we are many. Ingol and his veterans will be amongst us. He could direct small groups of resistance fighters in the mountains behind the enemy. It would make it impossible for Leowyn to assault the city by conventional means, and he would have to starve us out with a long siege of attrition.
I take it you have spoken to Ingol about...
When Ingol arrives, he will have Sorella with him. And the city as secure as it can be, under our garrison with Captain Grimbold. The Dragonborn and I will escort Sorella to Coral, where we will meet up with Cassius.
Ah, Cassius Varron. I do love it when things appear to be coming together. I like reunions.
Cassius will guide us over the Colovian highlands and mountain passes into Hammerfell. With luck, he will have already secured the support of Quintus and his legion. We take Table Mountain, destroy the Bridge of Sighs, and that bitch is history.
Quintus will then march his army back down the Gold Road to the Imperial City.
I don't know. Hopefully, yes.
Leowyn would be forced to lift the siege of Bruma, or risk splitting his force to protect the citadel. Depending on the circumstances, we would need to decide what to do next. Then... Yes, who would join him, and who would abstain? So many scenarios. It all depends on Quintus, how quickly he can move from Anvil to Skingrad, gaining momentum to place his army outside Coral. It has been known for an army to just sit and do nothing on the battlefield.
If Cheydinhal and Breville side with Leowyn, we'll have problems. He could have his forces, effectively keeping Bruma in check, and still mount a three-pronged pincer attack from the three fronts on Quintus's army. We would be defeated. Maybe the best way forward, if we of course get this far, would be to relieve Bruma, attack Leowyn's army directly from the south, having Ingol sally forth on the flank and crush the army.
Leowyn will move, my child. He will sit on the banks of Lake Rumar guarding the citadel. He would wait for Cheydinhal and Breville to reinforce his army and strike. The odds would overwhelm us all. The best you could hope for would be to relieve Bruma with Quintus' army and force a stalemate.
Bear in mind, any peace deal would only last as long as it takes the Emperor to bring Coral, Anvil, and Skingrad back into the fold. There really isn't any other way than to fight, to the bitter end.
Dragonborn? Yes, of course. We must focus on the task at hand.
If you would excuse me, Lady Rigmor. Lady Sigun, I need to go and check on the defenses.
Of course.
These really are dark times we are living in. I think I will retire. I bid you good night.
I must apologize, Dragonborn. I'm so tired and must retire.
I take it Sefri informed you of the consequences of destroying the soul gem? Ah, yes. Please allow me to explain. I have spoken with my mistress. She is very interested in our endeavors to thwart Morag Cepheus, or should I say, Morag Baal. So much so, she has taken it upon herself to become directly involved, if needs must. Let's just say it's personal. If a rift is caused long enough for a certain Daedra to appear in person, then things are going to get very bad, very quickly. Not only for you, but for all of Tamriel. No. So she has instructed me to give you this. Behold, Dragonborn, the Eye of Boethiah. The Eye of Boethiah. But listen carefully, very carefully. Once in your possession, it allows you to summon Boethiah to your calling, but only if you are within a rift between Oblivion and the mortal world, and another Daedra is present. If Molag Bal enters the rift, you must use the spell. Boethiah will fight Molag Bal to the death. Actually, it's an everlasting battle that can never end until you strike either one of the Daedra with this. Boethiah is very fond of you, Guardian, and Rigmor. You are, after all, her champion, but it's Molag Bal she wants. There always has to be something ulterior for her to become involved at such a personal level. You may well find that you can do it yourself. Soon. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. And I, too, need my beauty sleep. Oh, and Guardian, inform Captain Grimbold to sound the bells once Yingol starts his attack. There isn't much we can do until then, so please feel free to make yourself at home. You deserve at least to relax and rest while you still can. Come, Carice.
Yeah. What shall we do now?
Yeah, right. I don't know what came over me.
I just want this all to be over. Remember all those years ago I said about how you can't run away from your destiny? You have to face it.
Head on. Don't let it control you. Dragonborn, stop it. Oh, the gods. I'm more afraid of that than anything. Well, I'm trying. It's not easy. Thank you, Dragonborn. And I love you too. Hey, wanna go grab a beer? We might not get another chance. Did you visit the Tap and Tack yet? The Countess of Bruma does not get barred, okay? Come on. After all this recent crap, I need a stiff drink. There's also some things I want to get off my chest. Okay.
Ja, bitte?
Yeah?
I have placed the garrison on high alert, and placed sentries on both gates, and spread the men out on the east wall. If they're going to attack, they'll have to try and breach the city here. They're just part of the blockade, keeping out of range from our archers. The north and west side is impassable for them. We can pick them off from the walls. Our only problem is that they've cut us off, not only from the rest of Cyrodiil, but Skyrim to the north. Leowyn has sent most of his garrison and a company of new Imperial Legionnaires. Robert himself commands the field. Not as yet. They sent some rangefinders the other night, and we returned fire. But, as no attack followed, I'm guessing they're waiting to get their trebuchets built. Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. It will be done as you ordered. All fighting age men have been called to arms. Those without children have been incorporated into the Shield Maidens. Although I haven't heard from the Fighters Guild. Maybe you and the Countess could... Just a retirement home for old veterans, and a place for lordless knights to muster. Speak to Sir Gregor. He's been asking about you. Mom?
Countess, it's an honor to receive you here at the Guild. Please, let me introduce myself. Sir Gregor, spokesman for the knights in residence here. How can we be of service?
Thank you, Sir Gregor. As you know, our city is under siege. The Dragonborn and myself are here to ask you, all of you, for your help in the battle that is to come.
As you know, the Guild is nowadays a refuge for homeless veterans and lordless wanderers. Some of us here consider ourselves retired, and although well mastered in the art of combat, might be a little rusty and wary to run headlong into battle, especially against such odds.
I like the odds.
Thank you, Tish.
Dragonborn?
If only Ariel Cepheus had not run the major skill out of Cyrodiil. So, a simultaneous strike. The flank is attacked and we sally forth. And who is leading the reinforcements? Aha! I know of this man. A formidable field commander. Hope?
The citizens, all non-combatants and children, would be sheltered in the cathedral once the bells toll. That's the signal that Ingol has arrived and begun his attack. We hope that will give them sanctuary and safety before the battle begins. And pray to the gods they don't fire their trebuchets on all gathered there. The mustering point will be at the main gate.
But please, how thoughtless of me. Join us at our table. Let us introduce ourselves. Help yourselves to refreshments. We brew our own wine. Please, try some. I am from the West Weald initially. My father owned one of the largest vineyards south of Skengrad. His father before him was one of the last knights of the Nine. I entered the service of the Count of Karl after Lady Anna of Skengrad married Karl's eldest son. When Ariel Cepheus marched his army towards the Imperial City after the sacking of Leeuwin, Skengrad and Karl marched down the Green Road to join with the Bravel's forces who were waiting for Cepheus at Fort Nomor. It was a brilliant strategic position, as we also held the bridge on the west side of the Nibben Bay to the Citadel. Cepheus made camp below us, and for 2 days there was a stalemate, and we prepared ourselves for a decisive battle. The following morning, they were gone. Cepheus had taken his army into elsewhere and went around us. By the time we had marched back to Bravel, the Imperial City was lost. Skengrad and Bravel wanted to push onward, but Karl, he wanted to protect his wealth and assets, and with Cheydinhal struck a deal with Cepheus. I could not continue in the service. It was a matter of honor. I heard that Bruma was still holding out, and had declared itself a free city, so I made my way here. Sadly, the old guild had been long boarded up. The Mage's Guild too. After an audience with Lady Sigyn, she allowed me to reopen the guild as a hostel or free house for veterans and lordless knights. Anyway, enough about me. Let me introduce you to our members. Sir Berselak of the Green. Sir Aemond, or Riyadh.
Amon Vynar, knight and former servant of the Lord of Rihad, who died during the March of Thirst after the city fell to Aranelia. I spent many years wandering the land for coin for my services. Finally retiring here in Bruma, as it would be dishonorable for me to return home.
And, not forgetting a newest member, Tish the Blade.
I'll fight. I was born to fight. Just point me in their direction.
Thank you, Tish, but you know the rules. All members must agree.
Gah. By the time you come to some agreement, the fuckers will be inside our walls already. You have my sword, Countess Rigmor, for having the balls to stand and fight. It would be an honor to fight under your banner. Won't it be? Yeah. Hurrah! Yeah! Kill me! Kill! Kill! Go on, B, go on! Kill me! Kill! Kill! Kill those motherfuckers! I fucking love that guy.
You'll have our answer by tomorrow.
Dragonborn, what the fuck just happened there? Do you think they'll fight?
Okay.
Feel it? I'm not sure, but the fog is closing in, and I've got a funny feeling something is about to... like a tinderbox ready to explode. The guards! We're under attack! They've brought up a catapult! Guardian! The gate! Defend the gate!
You never should have come here.